Welcome back, guys. I did actually figure out the issue that was going on last stream, and I can't wait to tell you about it because it was really dumb. It took about 20 minutes of explaining my code to Zerfblatt, my partner, and yeah, that was a thing. But now I'm so happy to report to you that it is all fixed, and I will be showing you how I'm doing the new win menu. Draft like 17 or whatnot, and you know, just talking you guys through that situation. Right, so let's jump into it. Alright, so I'm in a really good mood about this. Alright, so what were we doing? Alright, yep, that was in here. So I figured out how to do the loop for the thing. Oh wait, hold up. Yep, so here are all the scores, and the way that the scores are calculated is that I've got a loop specifically for arrays, and for each element of the array. Oh wait, hold on, that's for reset. All right, yep. For each element of the array, it goes and sets it to 0, and then you got the z0 and the score comparison. So I moved everything into the enemy parent because the behavior is pretty much the same. I'm just gonna grab enemy parent. Alright, this looks really complicated, but I swear I will go through and explain every part of it, and it will make sense. Because yeah, it's been a journey. Score calculator. Alright, so we've got our game mode, we've got our scores, we've got our game difficulty, and we've got our target collection. So the points, we are just incrementing those points, and then we are setting by integer, so setting integer by reference. So we're making a reference, not a copy, to the element in the array, which in this case happens to be an integer. And then going on from there, we've got our game difficulty, and let's figure out what's going on down here. So we've got the scores, and we'll pick out our score index from the array, which we get from the enemies. I'll show you guys what one of the enemies looks like, and then we are multiplying the point multiplier by one of the values based on the game difficulty, and adding that to the game score, whatever it might be at the time. And then we are once again setting that integer by reference, and then we are and then we are grabbing the total game score and applying that same idea of the point index by the score multiplier and adding that to the total score. Except I'm going to make a change here. So this is for kind of like future proofing for my game. I'm going to delete this index. I am now going to last index. And then that will make sure that, you know, whatever happens, I'm always going to get the total score, which I'll keep at the end, which will save me from trying to remember and having a really uneven way of seeing these things. So I'm going to grab that, and then I'm going to use the get function, which is, which will, oh come on, I'll just pop this down here. So we are grabbing a copy in this case, and this will always return the last value, so we're just making sure that that's a thing. And plug all these in again. I probably could have, you know, just put it in beforehand. That's fine. And there we go. And then at the end, it tells me what the game score is and what the game score is. So I'm hoping that made sense to just talk you through, you know, especially this bit looks really scary and complicated, but all that it's doing is grabbing this score, times it by the multiplier, add it to the current score, and yeah, incrementing in that way. So let's just open a random enemy, our good old candy corn. And so what I've got here, the points is a value of 0, the score is the index of 0, the score is an index of 1, and it has a multiplier of 2. So 2 times 50 is 100. That's where we want to have it. Cool. And then, yeah, I've got to update all of my enemy things, but we'll sort that out later. What else have we got? Yeah, so I just wanted to walk you guys through this, and then we are resetting the scores that I just talked about. And then as for the disease diagnosis, I had the scores issue again, where I was using the game score variable instead of making a reference to the array. So what we've got here is for every element in the disease array, we are comparing the disease value to the game score. So scores, the last index, which we just said is going to be the last, the like total game score, and then we're getting that value. So just to show you what that looks like inside the diseases thing. So at the moment it's set to increments of 100 because I haven't done balancing yet. I just wanted to do some testing, and there we go. 0, 100, 200. You guys kind of get the idea. I would hope so. Yeah, so that will just to show you guys what that looks like. Oh, whoops. Let's go fix that problem. Where's the problem? There's the problem. I haven't set the agenda yet. That's fine. Alright, so we're just going to disregard whatever that puts there. Oop, bring that over so you guys can see what's going on. There we go. Isn't that nice and pretty? Alright. 1, 2. Oh my god. What happened here then? Alright, let's go fix that. I'm going to remove the name for the time being. And let's try that again. We'll talk through this code as well, because I had a lot of fun making it last night, and love to kind of update you guys on that. Alright. There we go. Ha! Alright. So, cool. For some reason, it's setting it to 0. It's not counting the total. So let's go in and see what might be causing that issue. Yay! Mistakes and problems. So I have a feeling that this might be going on in enemy parent, the last index. So I'm going to go over and to my ship game mode. Got to make sure that the last score is indeed game score. Huh. Alright, so I'm going to keep an eye out on something particular. So in the top left corner, it will tell me what game score I have based on the number of enemies I've destroyed. So 1, 2, game score is staying at 0 for some reason. So I'm going to pop over to my enemy parent. I have a feeling that it's got something to do with that change that I just made. So we're going to Z back. And I'm going to set this to 16 because that's what I know what the game score is at the moment. And I'm going to reconnect these values. Because right now it's returning 0 and we kind of don't really want that. So it's doing the same thing as last time. Let's pop on over and skip this all together. Hopefully that won't return my error message, although I understand if it does. Alright, it won't, because it's not part of the procedure as it interprets itself. Whew. Let's jump back in, shall we? So 1, 2, game score is still 0. That's really unusual. Alright, so it was working yesterday, so that's why I was like, yeah, it's fine, everything's fine. Is it updated in the wrong target? No, because I've got this reference here and it's updating. I just need to connect this thing down here. Huh. That's really interesting that it's doing that. All right. So my next plan of attack is that the default thing is 0. I know that the multiplier is 2, so 2 times 50. Whatever the score is, I'm going to get a score of 100 per candy corn that I kill. So this right here, I've got this build string, and what this will do is tell me the game score is, and it'll take the value of the current game score and put it up there. So for some reason, that's just not even registering. So let's do some problem solving while we're here. Alright, game score is still 0 for some reason. It's registering the candy corn, so that's fine. Alright, but hey, we got some of it working properly. Alright, so that's definitely scores. This is frustrating. That's alright, like, I wasn't expecting to find issues with my code initially, but obviously I'm okay with it. Because we all get to learn where the problem's coming from. Yay! Alright, so it's gotta be somewhere here. And so let's head all the way back to before I had that before I put that last index in. And let's try that again there, because that's that's the last time it was working. Boop, pop that in there again. Because obviously I wouldn't continue working on my code if I hadn't figured out that was the thing. So let's jump back into it. I'm in such a good mood, like even if things aren't going the way I was expecting. Okay, so that's 200 points. Hey, 200 points! And we got halitosis and gingivitis. Yay, we're healthier now. Alright, so it was the way that things are kind of the way things are connected. So we are going to go into the enemy parent and test that out, because I don't know why this is working here. You know what? I'm just going to grab this whole situation and I'm going to pop it here. Okay, let's hope for the best here. There we go. Gonna plug those in there. And this should do the exact same thing as last time without, you know, having all those weird lines everywhere. So I'm gonna compile. Okay. Oh, now I remember what the issue was. That's alright, we can just pop that down into get score. And then we can just go on from there. So, you know, that wasn't really so much of an issue. It was just a little hiccup. Little one. And then just connect that to there. Oh my god. Let's see if that works, because I'm not sure what issue that was causing, but, you know. Whoop. 1, 2. So for some reason that's returning me a game score of 0, and I'm not entirely sure why. So my instinct is to actually pop in a printer. I don't know why it's like, it's probably, so the last index will always return 16. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the int into there for the time being. And it should return game score is 16 if it's returning like the last index identifier. So let's jump in. Game score is 16. So it's returning the value of the index. I'm probably going to need to grab a reference, because the key difference between a copy and a reference is that you can make a change to a reference later. There's the magic word, change. Alright, so this, you see how this has a little diamond? So that means that value can be changed. So I'm going to line this out. I'm going to get a reference, and then going to make that reference a thing. So that's why that wasn't changing, is because it wasn't allowed to change according to its programming. So I'm going to plug everything into here. I probably should have guessed that based off the fact that I have a little diamond here, but no biggie. It's all good. And game score is set to, we'll grab that up from down there again. Maybe move that down there, make it a little neater, reconnect this. And so now, instead of returning 0 no matter what I do, it's going to return the changed value that we changed over the course of the code. Oh my god, arrays are so scary. Alright, cool, we're back to it. Let's talk about my latest adventure in making unnecessarily complex code to build skills to make better characters later. Alright, so getting back to the game status display. Let's talk about this monster and what I'm trying to do next. Alright, so first of all, the address was the easy part. The dress is also this entire thing. So I'm actually going to make this a lot neater than my weird little staggered thing. So let's just take a moment to kind of make it clearer for you guys to read and remind me what is going on here. But we're going to see a lot of this build string thing that I was talking, that I kind of vaguely alluded to earlier. Yo, my reroute node. Alright, cool. And this should just be able to move down. See, like, now that you kind of see it in bunches, it doesn't look as complicated. Alright, just give me a second to move everything down, and there we go. Alright, let's talk this through. Starting off with the street, I've got 0 to 99, but I could even as easily make it 999. So that's an append, so it kind of goes before values. It starts with that value. I got a prefix. I didn't feel the need to kind of add a prefix considering the next stuff. The street name, so I've got a... Where are they? There we go. I'm just going to scroll down here, and I've just got like 12 random street names that I got from a generator. And then that's going to plug into the street type, which is also like 12 random ones that I chose. And I mean, there's a in no particular order, just the ones that I liked. And so that's going to generate a new street name every single time. It's going to be unique. It's going to be fun for later. Same thing with the suburb, not particularly complicated. You can see that the state is practically a carbon copy of the suburb. So, you know, nothing to write home about. I just thought it was cool to, you know, keep it consistent. And then the phone number. So, interesting legal thing I found out. I can't actually, even by accident, include a number that's currently in use. So, 499... I mean, yeah, 0499 is not currently in use by anyone, or I think it's like reserved for like media usage or whatnot. But here I've got that, you know, I've got a 10-digit thing here, I think. Wait. Actually, I can remove this all together, so because that's 4, 3, and 3. That's a phone number, 10 digits. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. I will leave that as is. Let's just remove this thing, reconnect that value. Fantastic. You guys might be trying to figure out what this double dot thing is. It's just a converter, so it's converting an integer to a string value. And just like this is going from string to text for the purpose of setting the suburb, state, phone number, street I'm guessing you guys can like it's not a particularly out there concept. So yeah, that's what this is about, and I was actually working on the names now. I have Mr., Mrs., Miss, and Mix, which is, you know, it's gender neutral, and I was trying to set it up so that, you know, male names align with the male title of Mr. and female or MX, and, you know, aligning the female genders with all that. So that's what I was doing at the time. So that's why I've got this gender. I could just set a gender mix and min, max and min. I don't know. I think I might do that. So if it is true, false. Oh wait, hold up. Alright, so by default it's gonna be 0, it's gonna be 0 and 1. And that's what I'm gonna put over here with the prefix. I'm going to grab the get gender, and I'm going to get a copy because we're not changing a value this time, and we're going to duplicate this. Oh lordy. What have I done this time? And I'm going to be grabbing value 0 and value 1 and plugging that into 0 and there. And so that's going to assign the gender before we generate the name. So in this case, we got this one, and then we're going to change this. Actually, I probably don't need to insert this if it's true. So I'll just keep it if it's false, because it's just going to go through if it is a male. If it is false, then we want to change gender from 1 to 3, which is going to include the gender neutral and the female variants. Because, you know, women don't have to be married to have kids anymore. It's just the way of the world. And then that's going to go into, we're going to set a different client name. Oop. Oh wait, hold on. Set client name. And that's going to give us a different value, but it's going to give us the same general idea. Yep. So hopefully this will give us the desired effect. So I'm hoping all of that made sense. And there we go. Let's jump into that after we move this up a little bit. Actually, I'm kind of inclined to do a little bit of shuffling around. Just move all of this down. This can sit tight right here. And I'm going to pop a reroute node up here. So that's just in the name of making it more readable for later. Look at that. No dramas. Maybe make this up. Align it nicer. There we go. So, you know, in this case, if someone else picks up my project, it's not going to be a pain to read. So let's test this out. I'm going to see if I can, or just sit back and let the game play through twice. And then we can talk about whether I actually assigned the right gender profile. So, I'm just going to lose. It's going to give me a win anyway. Oh! Alright, so you may notice the name is still name. That's because I haven't actually assigned this situation. So, let's go over and change the name here. We're going to bind that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Get text 0. I'm just going to change that to... I'm going to assume that this is the phone number, so I'm just going to call phone name or phone number N-O. Phone no. I feel like I should be using my phone less, I'll be honest. Phone number, and this is client name. Cool. So let's pop on over.
This all comes from an understanding that ideas aren't static.
Alright, yep, I didn't change that to the right thing, so.
Water. Be
Client
like water.
number. I think I did something wrong here. Alright, let's jump over back to the phone number. Oh, okay, so that was... I'm just going to remove that. So for some reason, like, change the function for some reason. I honestly have no words at the moment, so... Let's get this. Let's call it client name. There we go. And then we can just grab the information that we generated. And I didn't show you where I generated that information yet. Wonderful. So what have we got? I need to get it from the other place, don't know. Alright, I was lining it out when I shouldn't have been. So get client. There we go. And let's connect this goodness. Alright, so that should now be generating whatever the name is. Oh, what's up? Property and function have the same name. Alright. Client title. I don't know. let's try that. Or I could just put it as name. Like there's no downside to calling it name at the moment. My game isn't particularly complicated. Alright, let's jump in and test this out. Boop. So yes, Miss Cheryl Johnson. I would say that works. Let's sit back and watch again. Let's see. Let's wait until it gives us a Mr. Robert Mix. How is that pronounced? I'm gonna have to look that up later. Alright. Let's go. So, Mrs. Craig Jackson. We're gonna get it eventually. Miss Marilyn Jones. I'm gonna say it's a lot of fun. I'm always keen to see what comes up. Miss Christina Ward. You know, I kind of thought there would be more Misters. Mrs. Christopher. I may have to update at which point I actually change the thing, because I think Christopher is right in the middle. Alright, let's do that again. Mrs. Stephanie, yeah, that makes sense. MX Christopher, alright. Got a lot of Christophers of varying genders. Mrs. Ronald, alright, so I'm gonna say Mrs. Ronald, probably not like a sound thing, so I'm going to jump in and let's see if true. I'm gonna try setting the gender again and work from there. So gender. Alright, so that's going to be... Oh, okay, so because it's set it to Miss and Mrs. once, so it's going to continue to do that. So we're going to take away its option to do that and set the gender every time. So let's do some... Sorry to rearrange for like the 5th time. It just, yeah, I don't know. This is important to me. I have no regrets in trying to maintain some code efficiency. There we go. Alright, so this should now give us our male titles. Not that anything's wrong with calling you Miss Christopher, but I want to be considerate of how Christopher feels about that, so let's just sit tight for a second. Oh wait, you guys can't see the screen. We have a Mr. Chris. We have done it. We have misters. We have little misters. Mr. Jane. Okay, so I know that Jane is in the middle because I put Jane there. So maybe we just make that a third. Let's have a look at our first names actually before we make any choices. Okay, that's kind of confusing because So 13 is 13. 12 is Matthew. Oh, right, that's the integer 14. So yes, Jane is in fact has been accidentally reassigned. We're sorry for this clerical error. Jane, someone whose last name I forgot. Alright, let's jump into it. Yay! Mr. Paul Simmons. Let's go again. Ah, there we go. Mr. Eric Griffin. I'm actually so happy with this. I'm so proud of like this like little Mr. Marilyn. Mr. Marilyn. Okay, so I'm less than impressed with that. I don't know why it's returning the value. I am going to try something else because it seems to be generating a different value for both these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that plugged in here. I am going to remove this, and I'm actually going to set it back here to kind of set the name. Oh wait, hold on. We forgot to move that back here. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Yeah, I'm a noob. Okay, so I've just got to get gender. So, you know, that was pure luck that it worked for a few times. Let's pop that in here, pop that in there, jump in and check the first name. So it does change at Alice, so if it's equal or less than 13. Alright, so lucky circumstances over. We actually have connected our code. Let's try this again. I just want to make sure my game works. That's it. It's not a complicated situation. Alright, Mr. Joan. Alright. Huh. Mr. Jackson Craig. I think the issue is it's actually grabbing the, yeah, it's using the same value for both of those things. So I'm going to do a thing. Do a bit of a thing here. And I'm going to state the name first so that we can kind of assign the first name. So, oh lord. So what I'm gonna do is you guys ever get tired of my like ums and ahs? Because I would totally understand if you did. Alright, so I'm going to now I'm doing it again, oh my god. Alright. I'm thinking really hard about not making weird noises that are annoying to hear. First name number. Fantastic. And then I can just set the first name number. There we go. So that's I'm going to grab a random integer value, plug that into here, move it up so it looks nice and pretty. Nice and purty. And then I'm going to use that first name number. And going to plug it into the first name output and the gender comparison situation. So cool. That can sit nice and tight right there. And oh. I mean, the gender doesn't this doesn't really matter so much to me. So I'm going to break the link. Going to set that in the right place. So what happened just now, just like the last name isn't really relevant. People can have whatever last name they want. You know, for obviously like for legal reasons, they have to keep consistent. But onto sensibility. I'm just going to make that clearer. for the sake of what's going on here, I've got this, and then we are comparing it to 13 or less. Just gonna triple check that. Yep, 13 or less. It's going to set the gender based on that. So let's jump in. Hopefully this continues to work. And this will hopefully return the value that we need in the right order that we want. No, okay. So it's setting the gender before so the issue is that it's setting the Wait, so if it's less than 13, we want the gender to be, you know, 0 to 1. Yep. And if it's more than 13, we want the gender to be... Oh, okay, so because I copy-pasted, so that's 0 to 1, that's both 0 to 1, so it's going to be MX or Mr. no matter what I do. So in that case, we want to do 1 and 3. I'm just going to go back and make sure it didn't change the other one. What? How is that the same? Alright. Whew, alright. I'm going to make a brand new set gender, and hopefully that won't be such an issue. So 1 and 3. I'm confused. It seems no matter what I make, that's going to be an issue. So I'm going to do a set reference, just like we just did. So set ref by variable, and I am going to make the changes accordingly. So we're going to grab a reference, 2 references, and make those changes to 0 and 1. So yeah, you guys saw that there was kind of like a weird issue where I changed one value and it changed both of them. What I'm going to continue to do is so we're going to need to... Oh, actually, that's not so bad. So first name, I'm going to set that to first name min and max. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense to me. So I'm going to just grab a random integer this time. Oh wait, no, that's already there. So that won't really matter. So I'm just gonna grab a random integer. It shouldn't really matter. Boop. And boop. Okay, cool. So, you know, that makes sense to me. We're gonna set this variable and set this variable true and false. And we're gonna set, we have our first name min. I'm going to make a new variable called first name max. It's funny because first name max is also I'm in a good mood. First you ever have this thing where like your mouse goes off and it's just not? Alright, so first name min, first name max. Alright, so I kind of want to move this back even further, or I'll just move all of this further along. Alright, so in this case, oh wait, we need to make 4 of these values, so I'm gonna make another set. Oh wait. We're gonna plug this bit into both, and then we're gonna drag this along and make a second set integer by ref. So we're setting the first value and then we're setting the second value. Or in this case, I've got these the wrong way around. that's an easy change, darling. Just 0, 1, easy as. In this case, I won't need to add these really unnecessary variables. Yep. Cool. So set int by. Okay. I'm just gonna make by ref. There we go. And read it out. There we go. This is so satisfying, like when it works properly. When it ever does. So that's the target. And we're gonna grab a second one of these. And then once all this is over, it'll work nicely and I can be sane. There we go. So 0 and 1 if it is a male. And then 1 and 3 if it is a female. Like, this is such a minor thing that I'm like making a fuss over, but like at the same time, this is important to me. I want to get this right, and just so I can take these skills over later if I ever do need to, I don't know, assign a random name for a game character. There we go. So now that's properly assigned. Hopefully, I can pop that over, and that should be done. Let's move that back. And then I'm just going to plug that set client again. So yeah, we're setting the gender first and then setting the client. Let's move all of this up by a little bit. Just by a teensy little bit. I always wonder if I'm annoying. Let's pop this in. Alright, so this time everything should work because we've set the variables according to the gender. It's not changing because it's not referencing itself. So, why do you do this? Alright, so let's do a thing. Let's do a print. So I'm going to do some printing because I'm having a rough time. So I am going to, because I mean, from my point of view, all the male names are before 13. Have I got them plugged in the wrong way around? So if A is less than B, yeah. So if A is, maybe it's returning a different value for each of these, because that would make sense. Alright. Because 1 is always less than 13. I don't know. Alright. Huh. Well, the first thing we want to do is set the first name integer, so that's what I'm going to do. So that's the first name int or number, and we're gonna grab that from random. I know I keep like repeating what I'm doing like while I'm trying to figure it out. I hope you guys understand. Random in range. There we go. In range, integer. Oh goodness. In range. Just gonna keep repeating myself forever. Oh, that's why the reason why it wasn't working is because I was lining it out of the set client instead of getting it as a data point. So there we go. Random integer in a range. So 0 to 24. And there we go. We're going to set first name number, and then we're going to use that for everything. Because if it's sending out different values, then we're going to have a bit of an issue. So first name number, and then I can use that first name number right here. plug that in, make it nice. What a problem-solving process. Alright, this should hopefully give us the results we want for the effort that we predicted. So that means we don't need this. We don't need that. Oh lord. And we can just learning them skills. Alright, let's get into it. I am starting to get tired. Let's try to get this done before we get in there. Boop boop. Okay. Ronald is non-binary. That's cool. Jane is a miss. We like that. There's a bullet. Marilyn is a miss. So it did look like it was giving me kind of a random value every time. CRISPR is non-binary. I just want to see a male that's assigned to a male. Alright. Apparently we're gonna have a lot of issues with most hey, there we go, we have a non-binary female. This is well, non-binary feminine name. I really need to break out of that mindset. It's not ideal. Robert, I just want a male character. Okay, so I kind of want to make non-binary less often. You know what? That's not right either. Mr. Ronald. We just had to try one last time. We have a Mr. Ronald. All right. I think that's working. Or that's all working well. Now, you know what? Let's go another 5 minutes. Let's finish off that weird invoice majiggy scrolly thing and call it a day. Cause my energy is not agreeing with me right now. So I'm just gonna put all these kind of like on top of each other. And just call, so that's I'll be honest, I'm probably just gonna drag this up and just call that the name. There we go. And then let's just grab all of these. And that's the address. Whew. Now that we know how to do all this stuff. And then select everything. And this is win screen display. Whew, or rather the end screen display, because this is going to come up whether you win or not. Alright, end screen display. And then what's next? We want to set the invoice number. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing here of set invoice. Yes, we're gonna, but no, I'm going to change the invoice. So what I'm trying to figure out here is I'm gonna go over to the invoice and actually have a look at how that's being generated. Alright, so the issue why it keeps cycling is because it's continuously collecting data, so we're actually going to move this whole thing out. And we're going to pop that out, go over to the event graph, and actually generate it here. So I'm going to pop this in here. And do it the wrong way around and rename the invoice. But I'm going to move that down so that it kind of stays consistent in terms of how data is presented. So let's just move that up. Invoice, we're going to change this into a text value so that, you know, we don't have more code being changed than we need to. And I'm going to pop that up here and set invoice. So that when it gets called, it's not such an issue. Alright. Invoice number. And then this way we just have to get invoice. There we go, that wasn't so hard. Alright, so this should just be like a super easy text thing. I do want to change it out so it doesn't have that weird comma in the middle. And I think the way that we're going to get away with that is by building a string. So let's build a string. Excuse me, so rude. So we're just gonna make it with an integer, and I'm gonna say, for example, random integer, max value is gonna be, actually I want to kind of bring it back into a, well no, because this is gonna be the stuff to begin with, so 0, gonna make it 999. And then just gonna have that second value in there now that we know that they kind of both return a weird value. So it's gonna be a little bit awkward in a way, that it's gonna kind of present like this, but hey, let's see if it actually indeed does return two different random numbers based on the pathway. Bring it on. Huh, no, it returns the same number. That's interesting. Alright, so for the sake of my mental health, I'm just going to do this twice. And we're going to have that little weird, like, niblet in the middle there. And let's jump in and fix that up. Sorry I'm like a little bit low energy, like I was really high energy at the beginning, but then I was just like slowly declining. Alright, let's go, let's go. Yes, good. Happiness. Alright, cool. So that's all the strength I have for today. But, you know, like, that's cool. And I will continue working on this and kind of give you an update. And yeah, I expect this to be like either finished today or tomorrow. In my own time. I look forward to keeping you guys updated, because then we're going to work on the intro of the story, as well as the lose screen, which will be identical except for the lose thing. Anyway, see you guys next time. Wait, hold on. I was supposed to do an end screen. There we go. See you guys next time. If you kind of got some skills out of this, continue, I mean, not continue, consider going over to my Ko-fi and, you know, like dropping $1, adding a pixel to my mix. There's also my YouTube channel. Keep an eye on my Twitter, because that's where I kind of post recent events. There's a Trello board for current game progress. There's a bunch of stuff. Make sure to have a look in my link in my description. That will guide you everywhere. Alright, thank you very much. I'll see you guys later. Hi guys, thanks for watching the video. I apologize if there was a sharp cut due to connection issues during the stream. There's a recommended video over there, previous video over here, and more fun stuff in the description. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave some feedback, and feel appreciated. See you next time!